Shannon, what do you expect from Thomas?
I expect him to be rusty. Skip, he's a small man. His whole thing is quickness and explosiveness. Now, he had a severe hip injury. He's not Joel Embiid, who's 7'1", 7'2". He's not one of these big guys that speed and explosiveness is not required. For him to be as small as he is, he needs his athleticism. So it's going to be hindered somewhat because, as he mentioned, as he said, he has not played in a very, very long time. And so it's one thing, okay, scrimmaging against G League, scrimmaging in practice. Now you get out there with the big boys. They're not going to be feeling sorry for Isaiah Thomas. They're going to run him over. They're going to make him work, going to try to make him shuffle side to side. Now, we know he ain't about sitting in that chair and playing defense anyway, Skip. But even on the offensive end, everything that he does is predicated on being explosive and being quick. Now, how healthy is the hip? Now, they say they're going to limit him to somewhere between 8 and 12 minutes. He's not going to start out playing back-to-backs because I believe he will be extremely sore even playing those 8 to 12 minutes, considering he hadn't had that kind of workload in meaningful action since, June? Well, I guess the end of May.
Yep.
So it's been a long time, Skip, so he's had to work up a nice little lather. I expect him to be excited. He'll probably get some run with that second unit. It might be a situation when it works itself out that LeBron will go to the bench with, say, 8.5, 9 minutes played in the first. Isaiah bring it on home, and then LeBron will start the second quarter with that second unit. I can see them staggering, so somehow one of those guys that can always initiate offense, although that's not Isaiah's strong suit, but can also go get their own shots. And so it's going to be very interesting to see how he meshes with LeBron. I'm interested to see that dynamic because he's not a catch and shoot guy.
Nope.
Most of the guys that's had success with LeBron are catch and shoot. That's what they've turned Kevin Love into. Kevin Love was mainly a back to the basket guy in Minnesota.
Yep.
And he was a 26 and 13 guy. But he's turned into more of a stretch. Now, you get a smaller guy on him. He can post you up, but he's mainly shoot the ball from outside. So this is going to be very, very interesting to see. I'm anxious to see how it plays out, what unit, how Ty Lue mix and match these guys together, because Isaiah's not going to work well with everybody on their roster because he's not a catch-and-shoot guy. He can get in the pick and roll, but they really don't have bigs that pick and roll, with the exception of Tristan. So this is going to be very interesting to see how this works out.
Isaiah Thomas is going to start for the Cleveland Cavaliers sooner or later, right?
Yes.
If anybody can figure out how to blend him into the starting unit, LeBron James can.
Correct.
Because I've never seen anybody better at figuring out a dynamic than LeBron is. He will share the basketball. He's still the best passer in basketball. And he can be unselfish when he needs to be to get somebody else involved. He did a great job with Kyrie. They figured out how it worked, you know? And he had to defer, he had to sacrifice, and I'm sure he will figure it out offensively with this little man.
Correct.
But this little man has a big ego, and I'm not condemning, I'm not even criticizing. He just does have a big ego because it's propelled him to this stage of his career.
Yes.
And he wants the basketball. He had the 5th highest usage rate in the league last year. He's just used to having the ball in his hands.
Correct.
He's already stated it. I can score 30 a game for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He averaged 29 a game for the Boston Celtics last year.
What he wants more than 30 points, Skip, is he wants that max contract.
Okay.
And he feels that scoring the boatload of points, that's going to give him that. I think he's saying to himself, if I just average 18, 19 points, nobody's going to give me a max contract.
Yep.
But if I average over 25, I'm more apt to get that. That's what he wants because he was a second-round draft pick, Skip, and he hasn't had that gigantic payday that he sees everybody else getting.
So, in the sport of basketball, unlike the sport of football, you have to play two ways. So, you also have to play the defensive end of the floor. And right now, your Cavaliers are struggling on that end of the floor.
They are.
They are tied for 28th in defensive efficiency, which means there's only one team worse than them, which is the Sacramento Kings. That will not win any championships. They got to get better there. They ended up last year tied for 22nd, and it haunts them when they run into a Golden State in the finals because they're just not good enough.
Well, when they went on that winning streak, Skip, they were in the top 10 in defensive
They had a
efficiency.
good stretch.
And then they reverted back and they reverted back to losing also.
So I don't think it's any coincidence that now that Isaiah Thomas is not a Boston Celtic, Kyrie is, Boston is #1 in the NBA in defensive efficiency. Wow, who knew? That's highly impressive. That's why Boston is sort of staying afloat at the top of the
Correct.
Eastern Conference. Last year, Boston was 12th in defensive efficiency, and now they're first. So, little Isaiah, as you point out, does not like to sit in that chair and play defense. It's just not his forte.
No.
It's not his strong suit. What is he, 5'10"-ish? I don't know, 5'11" maybe?
Being kind.
Yeah.
Because, I
And-
mean, look at T. Lou.
Yeah.
T. Lou looked like
You know what? He
Shaq.
does.
And T. Lou, what, 6'1"?
I was going to say 6'1", so he's 5'10"-ish. Okay, so he's going to have a
Right.
hard time defending anybody to start with, and now it's not what he's made of. Well, how are you going to do this when he joins the starting lineup of a team that's ranked tied for 28th in defensive efficiency? That is a recipe for further disaster.
Well, they better be Oklahoma on offense. They better be super duper explosive on offense.
They better be.
Because if you're not, if you insert him and you're already struggling defensively, he better. The only way he can make this work, Skip, he has to punish the guy on the opposing end.
Yep.
So he has to be more of an asset scoring than a liability on the defensive end.
Yep.
Now, we know he can score the basketball. Now, LeBron has no problem. If he sees a guy get hot, Skip, you've seen him with Kyrie. Kyrie gets it going, LeBron has no problem.
He'll do it.
He
No, I agree.
stand in the
He's
corner.
great at that.
Kevin Love gets it going.
He does. He
Kevin,
will give it up.
get open, I'm going to give you the ball. He tell everybody to clear out, let the guy. So he has no problem with that. And so that's where Isaiah Thomas is going to have to say earn his keep. He's
Yep.
going to have to punish people on the offensive end.
Yep.
Because, Skip, I mean, who's he guarding? Muggsy Bogues? Nate Robinson?
Spud Webb?
Yeah, exactly. He going to have to guard somebody. Because everybody that he could possibly guard at the point guard or the two guard is substantially taller than he is. And every point guard in the NBA currently, Skip, can go get buckets. Everybody. There's not one point guard on a given night that can't go hit you up for 40 points. Not one.
Well, Lonzo Ball, maybe. He's not a 40-point.
Yeah, well, we're not even talking about it.
No better passer than him, though. But go
Stop
ahead.
playing.
Yeah.
Well, you see, they stepped off a cliff. They're dead last in
Well,
the West.
they haven't had Lonzo. Case closed.
Skip, don't do that.
He just showed
Skip,
you
don't
how
do that.
valuable he is.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I'm doing it. So, speaking of your man, LeBron James, they've been just living and dying at the three-point line because he was way over 40%, and he's coming back to earth.
What is he now,
slowly
like
but surely.
39?
He's 39, and in his last 3 games, he's 3 for 16, which is only 19%.
Yeah, he was
so,
1 for 7 on Saturday.
1 for 7 on Saturday, and he missed that little bunny in the lane with 29 seconds left at Utah. And they lost at SAC, and they lost at Utah.
Well, what happened in Utah, Skip, is that they had a 10-point lead, and I turned around, and they're down 12. I'm like, what happened? Well, what happened is that no defense happened. They let Donovan Mitchell get whatever he
Donovan
wants.
Mitchell is something, man.
And I don't know what it is,
Oof.
but Rodney Hood, I mean, Joe Johnson, ISO Joe averages 3 points a game, but for some reason he played the Cavaliers,
Yep.
he getting 17. Rodney Hood,
Hey, every time they play the Spurs, Rodney Hood shoots them right in the heart.
yeah.
He can make clutch threes.
I mean, he comes in the game and he's pulling up and it's like, well, we'll give him that. No, don't give him that. Push up on him.
Well, here we go. The great experiment is about to ensue.
I tell you what, I bet you I'll be happy on Thursday when I come in here. I bet that. You want to put something on that?
Not yet.
Yeah, put something on that.
I don't love it.
You got the #1 team.
I don't love it.
Why you don't love it?
I'm down an all-star.
Who?
There's no Gordon Hayward.
Skip, don't do
Gordon Hayward, they lost an all-star. What if you lost an all-star?
Skip, they've been without Gordon Hayward since game 1. Now, Skip, you need to stop playing. Now you done see what you done did. You let that alligator mile get that canary butt in trouble. You've been talking about Kyrie. You've been talking about Kyrie.
I'll see. I'll decide by tomorrow what I think.
You
But
in a
Gordon
foul-
Hayward is.
Why you in a
How
foul?
can you want to
Skip,
talk about overachieving?
Skip, I tried to prepare you for what was going to happen with OU.
You prepare me. It was 31-14.
Yeah.
I wish I'd been sitting on your couch at that point.
You
See
told
the look on your face.
I want Alabama to beat Clemson because I want Baker Mayfield.
I did.
There will be no Neil Armstrong moment.
Skip and everybody else.
There will be no
keep it
Neil
real.
Armstrong moment. He will not be planting a flag anywhere.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.